Nothing goes better with great friends, great times, and special occasions like a great cigar. Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the owner of Leaf & Ale, Knoxville's traditional tobacconist, featuring cigars, microbrewed and import beers, pipes, and pipe tobaccos too. If you love a great cigar, you'll love Leaf & Ale. On the corner of Kingston Pike and Cedar Bluff, and online at leafandale.com.
You deserve the best. Leaf and Ale.
At Luttrell's Eyewear, we want you to feel and look great in your eyeglasses. With 2 locations in Bearden and Farragut, Luttrell's Eyewear offers frames that will complement your best features. Open Monday through Saturday with late evening hours, we specialize in prescription eyeglasses and provide eye exams by an optometrist or ophthalmologist by appointment. And check out our website at luttrellseyewear.com. Luttrell's Eyewear, where service meets fashion.
My big brother was trying to impress the cheerleaders. He was in the gym, pumping iron, showing off his muscles. And the weights fell and broke his foot. Now he's only allowed to pump gas. My dad always wants to show my mom his great dance moves. The problem is, he has 2 left feet. Once, he stepped on her foot way too hard. Now my dad's only allowed to do karaoke.
I'm Don Sproles.
And I'm Karen Sproles.
We are the owners of the Lunchbox Restaurants.
Our cooking here is a lot like you would do in your own home.
It's like having you in our living room, having you in our dining room.
We do everything from scratch. All of our baking, all of our cooking is done from scratch. We know what's in our product. Our catering services are rather unique in that we're totally customized. We've done dinners for 2 people that a husband will pick up and surprise his wife with and take home. And we've done 1,500 box breakfasts. We can produce a wonderful event regardless of what your budget is.
We have customers that we feed today that we fed June 3rd, 1981. I think we can take a great deal of satisfaction out of that. And we enjoy working together and have continued to do that all these years.
I consider naming him Nightmare or Trouble, but I settle on Cash because that's what he's cost me. Thousands of dollars in damage. I've got a line of credit, so I'm able to fix and replace everything. As for Cash, he's in obedience school. I think we got the problem licked now.
Steps up, it's in!
Sarah just scored the winning goal in the last game of the season. Her dad couldn't make the game because he's out of town on a business trip, but he was able to watch his daughter during that exciting moment because of Knoxivi. Knoxivi is unique because its specifically local content reaches a global audience, making it possible for local businesses to reach their target market but still connect with viewers worldwide. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
Hey, this is Oliver Wright with Sportsgate. You can catch Sportsgate every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com. We'll have in-studio guests, post-game interviews, and all the sports coverage you can handle. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com.
My big brother was trying to impress the cheerleaders. He was in the gym, pumping iron, showing off his muscles. And the weights fell and broke his foot. Now he's only allowed to pump gas.
So how do you get people through your front door? Newspaper? Radio? TV? Name recognition for a small business usually comes at a pretty high price. Without a limitless advertising budget, it's difficult, if not impossible, for a small business to brand itself in the local market.
Never mind a global one, but there is an answer. Advertising with Knoxivi makes global branding power affordable for you, the small business owner.
And every time a potential client visits our website, your logo makes an impression. People begin to recognize your presence. The icing on the cake?
One click on an ad link is like a customer walking through your front door. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
It's time for the Sports Page with your hosts Dave Hooker and Austin Ward.
Welcome to the program. It is a signing day extravaganza as we broadcast live from UT Federal Credit Union just off of the Strip, 2100 White Avenue, and we're on TV. Check that out. What do you think, Austin Ward?
I don't know why that is.
It's time to be a superstar.
Now everybody knows that we weren't making up that we both have red hair.
Check out GoBallsExtra.com/sports page. Again, GoBallsExtra.com/sports page, and you can look at us thanks to our friends at Knoxivi.com. You can check us out online. We're live streaming. We're here, and we're having a fantastic time at UT Federal Credit Union. Now open to you if you live, work, or attend school in Knox, Anderson, Blount, Loudoun, or Union counties. You can join UT Federal Credit Union. Check them out on the web at utfcu.org. How much interest does your checking account earn? It better earn something. I better earn, what, 3.33%? That's what we're talking about with the U Rewards checking account at UT Federal Credit Union. Your balance could earn up to 3.33%. That's right. All you have to do is meet monthly requirements of direct deposit, online banking, and e-statements. When it comes to picking a bank, you probably want one with 3 ATMs everywhere in a branch in your hometown. That's why you should join UTFCU, 4,000 branches, 25,000 ATMs. You'll find it on the web at utfcu.org. Okay, Austin Ward, it is signing day. I'm rocking on about 4.5 hours sleep. I probably look that way.
No, you look fantastic.
Do I?
And it's a perfect holiday for you.
Holiday, interesting choice of words. But Tennessee already off and at 'em. There have been some surprises this morning. We also expect to hear from Calhoun, Georgia at any time where Derek Rogers, we believe, will sign with Tennessee. That was started to get out a little bit last night along with Nash Nance. That's a huge pickup, no question about it. We should hear anything. We'll hear something on that here momentarily. But when you, not only is he as a player a pickup, but when you're able to pull away a player from Georgia, one of your obviously one of your rivals, and it's the #1 player in that state, that's pretty significant. Nash Nance joins us now. He is the quarterback at Calhoun, Georgia. Nash, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic. So, I mean, I haven't even gotten official word yet. I'm assuming both you guys signed with Tennessee?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Well, congratulations on that. How crazy's the ride been? You know, just a couple weeks, you're a Vanderbilt commitment, and then bam, you're signing with Tennessee.
Yes, sir. It's been stressful over these past couple weeks, but you know, I think the good Lord's blessed me and put me where I need to be and put me in the right direction. So I believe Tennessee was the best choice.
In terms of your play, how would you describe yourself as a quarterback?
I'd describe myself as, you know, a pocket passer, but I can also be mobile in the pocket and, you know, do some things on the run. And I'm very proud of my strength as a quarterback. I don't think I know another quarterback as strong as I am in high school right now. So that's probably what I describe myself as.
You know, I also think you mentioned the success that Tennessee offensive coordinator Jim Chaney had with Drew Brees. I think back to that offense, and you're younger than me, but I can go back to that offense, and that's a lot of times a quick read offense. Do you feel comfortable in being able to do that at the college level?
Yes, sir, I do. I believe you know, Coach Chaney's a great coach, and you know, I think what he's doing Tennessee is a great thing, and you know, I'm proud to be a part of it.
Nash, can you know some of this for the last couple of weeks with Coach Dooley? He's been out of town. We haven't really got that much of a chance to know him. I think some of the players probably know Coach Dooley better than the media right now. What were your impressions of him, and what really helped sway you guys?
Well, you know, I think he's just a great guy. when we first met him, I didn't think he was going to be the way he was. He's very approachable, and I feel like I can go and talk to him about anything. And I think that's very important for having a player-coach relationship like that. Believe that when you step on the field and you're in the helmet, he's your coach. But when you step off the field, you can be able to go up and talk to him not only as a coach, but as a person and a friend.
So I'm curious. You said when you first met him, you got a different impression when you kind of got to know him. What was your first impression? How did it change?
Well, first impression, I didn't really know him, but I thought he was going to be very intimidating and hard to talk to. But after I talked to him, it was really easy just to talk to him. He's just a great guy, and I can't wait to play for him.
Nash, when you look at this class now as it's starting to shape up, and obviously you have Mr. Rogers coming to catch some balls, but Justin Hunter as well, and the receivers that you've got. And how much excitement is there for the rest of this class that's taking shape for you guys?
Still there, Nash?
I think Nash took off.
I think we lost Nash. I'm not surprised. He's in the middle of a press conference.
He's a busy guy.
We probably stole too much of his time. We did get confirmation that Rick Rogers has signed with Tennessee. So let's, while we try to run down, we'll try to get a couple more minutes with Nash if we can. More importantly, we'll try to get Rick Rogers since we've heard from Nash before. And Rick Rogers, man, you talk about facing some heat. Did you follow his Twitter account last night after news broke that he would sign with Tennessee over Georgia? Georgia fans, let's just say we're not happy.
I mean, I couldn't really stomach it. It was
brutal.
I preferred the humor of reading Markeith Amble's Twitter as opposed to sorting through those heated hate messages that DeRick was getting. I mean, it's just death threats and everything. I mean, this is a game. I mean, obviously signing day is a huge deal, and people invest a lot of time in recruiting and following these kids. But, man, if they make a decision, move on. Yeah. You're getting another guy. It's not like we can't fill the team next year.
Yeah, I think they're still going to be wearing red.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I understand that it's a very disappointing loss. Tennessee went through kind of a similar loss recently. Well, it's been a while, but Patrick Turner with Southern Cal. I mean, that was a guy that Tennessee thought they had and thought they had and thought they had. And in the end, they didn't have him. And there's something about a skill position guy. I don't know why, but a wide receiver, running back, or especially a quarterback, to lose him to an SEC rival is pretty brutal.
Well,
or at least to the fan base, I should say.
Those are the ones that you most easily associate. Those are the names that roll off the tongue that you're going to be, seeing in the end zone. When, in all actuality, the positions that really would make the biggest impact, not only for Georgia but for Tennessee, would actually be in the offensive and defensive lines. But that doesn't take anything away from what a great get Rick Rogers is, and it might take a little while for his true impact to be felt, though, just because of what I said. You need some help on the offensive line right now if you're Tennessee.
You think there's a chance that Nash Nance may be a news reporter one day, a sports reporter, because he just broke the Rick Rogers signing right here on the air.
That's a good start. I mean, I don't think I broke any national news until I was at least out of
graduated
in high school. I don't know, maybe.
Just kidding.
It's a possibility.
10 Tough Stories.
I guess Wyoming doesn't count.
Brought to you by Image Matters is right now. It counts.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Fresh out the presses, 10 Top Stories. Brought to you by Image Matters. Technology you need. People you trust.
10 Top Stories number 5 in news that is as shocking as the end of the movie Titanic. Highly touted wide receiver Markeith Amble signed with USC. How big of a loss is this for Tennessee?
Well, it's bigger for USC for them because they lost their nickname. Markeith Amble doesn't know how to spell it.
No, he tweeted last night. I'm so old. He tweeted last night, "What will I be tomorrow? A Vol, a Tar Heel, or a Trojan? Trogan."
So in that respect, I don't think that it's a big loss at all. If you look at what this
You're not in it for the spelling, though.
Well, that says a lot about if you're going to be able to keep this kid eligible. He ended up signing with USC, and he doesn't even know how to spell the
Wait
nickname.
a second. You think there's any way he could spell volunteer? He's just lucky it has a shortened name.
You're making my point. The guy wasn't going to be able to stay eligible. He can't even spell.
10 Top Stories number 4. Defensive tackle J.C. Copeland signs with John Chavis and LSU. I admit I'm a bit surprised. He gave every indication that he was still headed towards Tennessee, even though Southern Cal came calling this week. I'm a bit surprised.
That was one of the ones that teams pull out of a hat. One that Tennessee could be just as upset about as Georgia with Rogers. That's a big blow because there's some holes to fill at defensive tackle, and they could have used him right away, I think.
10-10 Top Stories number 3. According to television station out in Boise, Broncos coordinator Justin Wilcox interviewed with the Vols, and it's a done deal. It's been a story you've been chasing. We haven't been able to confirm it, so I'm not ready to go that far yet. But what's your take on Wilcox and being the next defense coordinator at Tennessee?
That would certainly be an interesting hire. He's not been a name that I had even heard until yesterday, which in itself either tells you that this was conducted in so much secrecy, the search was, or that they're well down the list, which I think is much more likely because you look at Kevin Steele, you look at Everett Withers, you look at Sal Sinceri, some other guys that have been mentioned, Joe Barry. I mean, this was never going to be getting – we were never going to throw the name Justin Wilcox out. That was an absolute out-of-a-hat kind of guy. I mean, he's got a good resume. He's done some decent things with the Broncos, but I'm not calling this a done deal like the Boise television stations are.
Did you you know this guy, though? I mean, or at least you know that program because you were just out there just but a few months ago. Do you think he can be an SEC coordinator?
You know, I can't say for sure whether he could or he couldn't. I know what he did there. The Broncos have never been known for their defense, for one. That doesn't mean that they haven't had some good units, but obviously their offense has been flashy, and they've had several games over the last few years where they just gave up enormous amounts of points. Now I know that they're doing it against a different level of athletes. They have a different level of athlete themselves. He doesn't have ties to the South. I mean, if you look at what Dooley's been doing in recruiting, you see these guys have specific places in mind where they have effectiveness, and I just can't – it's hard for me right now to see him fitting in on this staff.
10-10 Top Stories number 2, so some movement on signing day. As we mentioned earlier, Derrick Rogers signs with Tennessee after being a longtime Georgia commitment. We hope to visit with Derrick on the program before it's done. I know he's in the middle of a press conference right now. Glenn Stanley signs with USC. I don't think we can be completely surprised over that. We've been told there's some grade issues there. I don't know what that means for a junior college kid. I mean, if you got grade issues, you might never get to school. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens with Stanley. If he's eligible, though, it's clearly a big loss. I don't want to try to temper it because he's the type of linebacker that could come in and give Tennessee a guy that could play immediately. And theoretically. We're still talking about prospects, obviously.
I know it's always dangerous to look at it based in terms of what the current roster is, but I think if there was a position that you maybe had some leeway and you could take a gamble and miss, for Tennessee that would be linebacker. I mean, you've got Greg King, very young guy, lots of talent, Herman Lathers, Nigel Mitchell-Thornton. I think you're fine, kind of down the road at linebacker.
You like those guys a little more than I do. I like King.
I particularly like King, but I also think...
And I don't like Reveiz on the bad knee.
Yeah, but I think if you have a place where you can go reach, and it's okay if you miss, I think linebacker would be it. You look at the other positions, I'm not sure. And that's the one that you're most set at.
I would argue that linebacker is the third most needed position behind offensive line, defensive tackle. You disagree?
I think that they're set up in the future a little bit more at linebacker.
Okay, fair enough. And 10-10 Top Stories number 1. All right, National Signing Day unfolding. I've been told that James Stone will sign with Tennessee at 11:30. The offensive lineman out of Maplewood High School in Nashville, they just absolutely hated Lane Kiffin. Hated him with a passion. So now it appears as if he will sign with Tennessee because he likes Derek Dooley a lot more. Here are the commitments the signees we have confirmed to this point. Dave Clark, the defensive back out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, spent time at Independence, Kansas Community College. Raquise Crump, Minor High School in Adamsville, Alabama. He's an athlete, probably a defensive back. Zach Fulton, an offensive lineman out of Homewood Flossmoor in Flossmoor, Illinois. Edric Lofton out of Nimitz High School in Irving, Texas. Marquise Pear out of Sumter, an offensive tackle. I think is going to be an interesting one. He's 6'6", 255. He's going to have to put on some weight. Michael Pilardi, the kicker, kicked things off this morning, pun intended, out of St. Thomas Aquinas in Fort Lauderdale. Some think he's the best place kicker in the nation. Not those that watched the U.S. Army All-American Bowl where he got an extra point and a field goal block. But I think there was penetration. John Probst, Hoover, Alabama, a linebacker, a guy that Tennessee just picked up recently. Dontavis Sapp out of Valdosta, a defensive back. And, again, Derrick Rogers that we mentioned earlier. Glenn Stanley goes to USC. J.C. Copeland goes to LSU. Michael Rivera scheduled to sign his letter of intent a little bit later. We have not heard from John Brown. There has been talk from that Christian Jones may at least be thinking Tennessee. I don't know that that's necessarily the case. Justin Hunter is supposed to sign at 1:30, a guy who you did a feature story on for the Knoxville News Sentinel today. Damian Robinson, it's funny, I texted him earlier because his press conference is scheduled for the 11 o'clock hour Eastern. And I texted him, I said, did you sign with Mississippi State yet? I didn't even mean to. It's who I had heard he was going to sign with. And he said, what do you mean by yet? I said, I'm sorry, have you signed with any school yet? I haven't heard back from him yet. So we will continue to work the Damian Robinson angle. But the fact that he's a little defensive makes you think that maybe there's a chance for the Vols. What do you think?
You're such a sneaky reporter.
I didn't mean to.
Well, if you did or didn't mean, and that should be something that you incorporate into your repertoire in the future.
I meant to. Check us out on GoVolsExtra.com/sports page if you want to watch video not only of us, but you can also watch video of signees throughout the day. We've got video of those guys. We'll have a running crawl on the bottom that'll have all kinds of updates throughout the day. So it's a fantastic signing day celebration as we broadcast live from UT Federal Credit Union right here on White Avenue. It's just off of the Strip. You're a young guy, spends a lot of time on the Strip. What's a landmark down there that we're behind? Behind Zaxby's?
Behind the Mellow Mushroom.
Behind Mellow Mushroom. So stop by and see us. We've got prizes to give away, and I remind you that UT Federal Credit Union has locations in Knoxville, Martin, Memphis, Gainesville, Tuscaloosa, Oxford, Nashville, Columbia, Lexington, with almost 4,000 shared branch offices. There's one near your home, too, this fall. Visit UTFCU's newest branch at the UC. That's the only bank on campus, so check them out at theonlybankoncampus.com. But we, again, are in the White Avenue location just behind Mellow Mushroom. All right, let's go to the phone lines where Steve, the biggest recruiting fan that I know, is online now. Hello, Steve.
Hey, fellas.
Steve, how are you, sir?
Oh, I've been better. I'm not surprised at Coleman that much. I certainly knew that Stanley was going to sign with USC. And who's another one you named? I know Ambles didn't surprise me either. And I wish they had surprised me, if you know what I'm trying to say. But whatever. But do you think there's anybody, besides maybe a possibility of Robinson, probably not of Jones at all, but that sounded kind of neat. But do you think there's anybody else you would know that, since you had these signed elsewhere and all and had the openings, do you think there's anybody else at all that we might, surprise by signing, like maybe a Calvin Smith or somebody like that?
Well, Calvin Smith's worth keeping an eye on, certainly, but and there could be a surprise. And Tennessee now has a little bit of room because of J.C. Copeland going to LSU and Glenn Stanley going to USC. They have room for a surprise, but I guess that's why they call them surprises, frankly, because, Steve, right now I haven't heard anything concrete on any surprises for Tennessee down the line.
Yeah. Well, I think what they're talking about grades with that Stanley kid might be the deal about taking the extra English and math course that most of these kids don't take.
Yes, the SEC requires an extra English and math course that most other conferences don't take, so I think he was worried about getting in. Yes, thank you, Steve. I appreciate the call. 656-9900, star 990, a free cell phone call. Confirmation via Josh Ward that we now, Martese Jackson can count him as a signee. Martese Jackson is the linebacker out of Demopolis in Alabama, 6'2", 205. He has been committed just for a couple days since January the 24th. Again, check us out, GoVolsExtra.com/sports page as we broadcast live from the UT Federal Credit Union on White Avenue, just off the Strip. It's a perfect place to check out video of current signees, check out live video of my smiling face. There you go, and a crawl of the constant signees. Also, check us out on GoVolsExtra.com if you want some text info. and we'll be Twittering throughout the program. How much multimedia can you get? At some point, we've got to come up with a new name for multimedia.
10.
Well, we're just so versatile in here.
Stay tuned.
Multiple.
Talk recruiting next. National Signing Day. The News Sentinel Sports Page brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal.
The News Sentinel Sports.
You doing it live, Dave?
Opinions, insight, expertise. Only on the Sports Animal.
Penn City Jewelers is the...
Nothing goes better with great friends, great times, and special occasions like a great cigar. Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the owner of Leaf & Ale, Knoxville's traditional tobacconist, featuring cigars, microbrewed and import beers, pipes, and pipe tobaccos too. If you love a great cigar, you'll love Leaf & Ale. On the corner of Kingston Pike and Cedar Bluff, and online at leafandale.com.
You deserve the best. Leaf and Ale.
At Luttrell's Eyewear, we want you to feel and look great in your eyeglasses. With 2 locations in Bearden and Farragut, Luttrell's Eyewear offers frames that will complement your best features. Open Monday through Saturday with late evening hours, we specialize in prescription eyeglasses and provide eye exams by an optometrist or ophthalmologist by appointment. And check out our website at luttrellseyewear.com. Luttrell's Eyewear, where service meets fashion.
My big brother was trying to impress the cheerleaders. He was in the gym, pumping iron, showing off his muscles. And the weights fell and broke his foot. Now he's only allowed to pump gas.
Steps up, it's in.
Sarah just scored the winning goal in the last game of the season. Her dad couldn't make the game because he's out of town on a business trip, but he was able to watch his daughter during that exciting moment because of Knoxivi. Knoxivi is unique because its specifically local content reaches a global audience, making it possible for local businesses to reach their target market but still connect with viewers worldwide. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
I consider naming him Nightmare or Trouble, but I settle on cash because that's what he's cost me. Thousands of dollars in damage. I've got a line of credit, so I'm able to fix and replace everything. As for cash, he's in obedience school. I think we got the problem licked now.
So how do you get people through your front door? Newspaper, radio, TV. Name recognition for a small business usually comes at a pretty high price. Without a limitless advertising budget, it's difficult, if not impossible, for a small business to brand itself in the local market.
Never mind a global one, but there is an answer. Advertising with Knoxivi makes global branding power affordable for you, the small business owner.
And every time a potential client visits our website, your logo makes an impression. People begin to recognize your presence. The icing on the cake?
One click on an ad link is like a customer walking through your front door. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
Covering sports in East Tennessee like no one else can. Sports Animal.
I love it.
Oh, he said call his home number. Do you have that from yesterday?
The 274-2678.
I don't know, but get him on that because his cell phone's terrible. Sounds terrible. Welcome back to the News Sentinel Sports Page, brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal. You can consolidate your debt with a loan from UT Federal Credit Union, your community credit union. Rates as low as 5.99% fixed APR for up to 36 months. UT Federal Credit Union, the only bank on campus. UT Federal Credit Union has locations all over the place. Knoxville, Martin, Memphis, Gainesville, Tuscaloosa, Oxford, Nashville, Columbia, Lexington. Almost 4,000 shared branch offices. There's one near your home, too. This fall, visit UTFCU's newest branch at the UC, the only bank on campus And if you need to consolidate some debt, pay off your high-interest credit cards, again, you can get that low-interest rate loan from UT Federal Credit Union, 5.99% APR for 36 months. And it's a great time to shop for a new car or truck. Rates as low as 4.24% plus a bonus for a limited time. Choose from either a free GAP plan or up to $200 cash back from UT Federal Credit Union. National Signing Day brought to you by UT Federal Credit Union today on the News Sentinel Sports page. Brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal. We hope to have James Stone on the program later this afternoon. We're also running down Derrick Rogers, who has signed with Tennessee, and we have been told that James Stone has also signed with Tennessee. We reported early this morning that according to a source closest Stone, he would indeed sign with Tennessee. It wasn't a great surprise. That's where the speculation had been for quite some time. But this is clearly a guy, if you want to talk about guys that Kiffin would have got or Dooley did get, this is a guy that Tennessee doesn't get with Lane Kiffin as their head coach.
That's the unintended consequence there. Everybody was expecting doom and gloom with Lane leaving and this class was going to fall apart. Well, there was always that possibility that people didn't like the way that Ed Ogeron worked or Lane Kiffin worked or the things that they said, the way that they acted. So, and this is a guy who's a direct benefit of that. Justin Hunter is as well.
Yep, I agree. James Bryant joins us now from inside Tennessee. And we can tell you now that we have confirmed that John Probst, the linebacker that just committed to Tennessee a couple of days ago, has indeed signed. So mark him off the list out of Hoover, Alabama. But James Bryant joins us now from inside Tennessee. James, how are you, sir?
Well, it's been a little hectic this morning, guys.
It has. let me throw some names at you and just kind of get your take on where they ended up.
For you too.
Yes.
Justin Hunter. There is being a rumor circulated. I got a text message just a moment ago. He may be headed to Virginia. They're uncertain there. We had been told that there was a delay in him signing due to the snow, but we may be getting snowed in a different way.
Well, I was told that he was going to go at 1:30. So you think that could be a smokescreen?
There's rumors circulating right now, and I got a text message from one of our Northeast guys, and he's trying to chase down right now whether Virginia may be in play there.
Interesting. Now, that would be especially interesting for you, Austin Warren, because
fantastic.
Your feature story for signing day was on Justin Hunter.
Well, I mean, that would.
Who suggested that to you?
I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus.
No, throw me under the bus. I'll take it.
I'm not going to tell you whose idea it was, but it doesn't matter. I mean, when you talk to these guys, and I talked to him, 36 hours ago, and there was no hint that there was any.
You never know, do you guys?
I know. That's what's so amazing about this day.
J.C. Copeland, I would have never thought after talking and visiting with his head coach Monday that it was a done deal, Tennessee, and he goes to LSU this morning. So, I mean, and I've been doing this for 5 years, Dave, or I guess 7 years, and Dave, you've been doing it for a long time. How many times have we seen over the years that this kind of stuff, I mean, kids are fluid. I mean, I saw at Ole Miss, we thought we, had a kid one time and right up to signing morning, and we had live updates there, and all of a sudden he pulls a different hat. So, I mean, there's a lot of different drama on signing day, and this by no means don't throw your story away, Austin.
I can't.
Justin may be in the house.
Sorry, Ron.
I'm just sharing the rumors with you.
All right. Let me throw a couple of other names at you. You mentioned Copeland. That was one I was going to address. Rogers, obviously a huge pickup for Tennessee, and we were talking earlier about guys that Tennessee wouldn't have gotten under Lane Kiffin. I think James Stone is one. I think Derrick Rogers and Nash Nance are two others.
Yeah, you got to realize that that the former coaching staff is the one that initiated the contact with Nash Nance and Derrick Rogers. But Derek Dooley and his staff did a tremendous job, and I think it was the relationship that Jim Chaney made with Nash that probably really made a big difference there.
Now, Glenn Stanley goes to USC, hardly a surprise there. It's my understanding that the elevated requirements for junior college admission in the SEC was a factor.
I think so. The extra math, extra English, and with the opportunity, he jumped at the opportunity not to have to do those two things.
Yeah, I can understand that. L.A. and not having to go to class, that's not a bad option, Austin.
Why not?
So I keep this is the question I get over and over. I've gotten it on the radio show. I've gotten emailed countless times today. Who's the surprise? Where's the surprise? I don't see one, but I guess that's why they're called surprises. If you had to throw out a couple names.
If it happens, it would be Damian Robertson, and I haven't seen reported anywhere he's signed anywhere yet. And that would be a shocking deal anyway. But, I mean, everybody expects him to sign with Mississippi State. But if for some reason he pulls the orange hat, that would be a nice, pleasant surprise. If Hunter goes to Virginia, that's an unpleasant surprise. Rick Rogers, you have to consider that a surprise, even though recently we kind of knew it was going to happen, but having it done. Also, I guess you and Austin are going to take up for me with all the Georgia fans. Go read my lead couple paragraphs on my story about the second humiliating defeat that the Dogs have suffered at the hands of the Vols in less than 12 months. I'm sure I'll be getting some fan mail from south of us.
I think you'll be a popular guy in Athens, James.
Yeah, well,
I don't think I'll go have lunch at Athens anytime soon.
Almost as popular as the Rick Rogers. Hey, I appreciate the time, James. We'll talk to you soon. And
hey, thanks, guys. Hope to see you out at Spice Rack tonight.
Yeah, you'll be out at Spice Rack from 6 to 9, right?
6 to 9, and right now it looks like 200 or 300 people coming, so it ought to be a big party.
And as far as the guests, drinks are on you, right?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Dave Hooker in an expense account from the Knoxville Sentinel.
I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, James. I appreciate that.
James, before you go, I just got a text back from Justin Hunter. Said no, I'm signing with Tennessee.
Fantastic.
So we got that
Great
breaking news.
I appreciate Austin. I'll give you credit for it on our website.
Appreciate it, man.
Go check out InsideTennessee.com.
I will. I love to see my name there.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
All right.
And as for the Damian Robinson thing, I mentioned I texted him earlier. I probably should have told James this, but I know he's listening. He listens every minute of the show. But the fact that he didn't just say no when I said, have you signed with Mississippi State yet? Because he could have just said no. And then that was the natural conclusion would be he was going to sign with Mississippi State. But he didn't. He said, what do you mean yet? Am I reading too much into that? A lot of recruiting is reading the tea leaves or tea leaf or whatever that term is.
Well, I would think you would just say, yeah, I mean, it's coming or it's still going to happen. Just hold your horses a little bit.
But could he really sign with Tennessee having not visited the campus? Could he really sign with Tennessee? I find that hard to believe.
I don't know. It's such a significant decision. I don't know why anyone would ever do that without visiting first.
I'd put it off before I do that. It's not like Mississippi State would tell him no if he said, I've got to wait a week.
No, they absolutely would not. And neither would Tennessee. Said, come on in this weekend, big boy.
Some guys don't have enough leverage. He does.
Absolutely.
So I would encourage him. All right, guys we're trying to get on the program today. Rick Rogers, again, the highly touted receiver from Calhoun, Georgia, who has signed with Tennessee. We're working on him. Let us know when we got him. Jamie Shaker. We're also working on James Stone, the offensive lineman from Maplewood High School, who is reportedly signed with Tennessee. We've reported that he will sign with Tennessee, and that's supposed to be coming down the pike here very soon. And then I want to get – this guy's not nearly as highly touted as those other guys I mentioned, but I want to get Raquise Crump. Because here's a guy that didn't know where he was going. It was looking like MTSU or South Alabama, and suddenly some things fall through. Ralph Williams for one, Glenn Stanley for another. And Tennessee needs Crump, so they offer him the day before signing day. He commits. Bam, he signs with Tennessee, where his other options were MTSU and South Alabama. Now, I know recruiting fans aren't going to get excited about him, but I think it's a great story, the fact that he's able to get that type of offer.
Well, I mean, I know that this is the SEC, but this story happens all over the place. There's the guys that slip through the cracks, and it's their dream to, usually it'd be like 1AA to a 1A school or whatever, and then these guys end up, because they're such hard workers, and you look at this kid's resume, not just on the field, but the things that he's done as an Eagle Scout and with his church and everything. I mean, you can tell that this kid's a straight arrow, is going to work hard. Sometimes those turn out to be your best players down the road because they weren't handed everything. They didn't get to take their choice between USC, North Carolina, and Tennessee, these power brokers. They had to work for what they got. Having a couple of those kids in your class is not a problem.
No, I agree. You don't want to build a program around them in the SEC, but
no, absolutely.
And it's up to you to be a good talent evaluator. If you're able to do that, then that's kind of the next step. It is time for today's tough question. We hit it right now.
It's time for today's tough question. Probing the minds of the experts. Today's tough question, only on the News Sentinel sports page. Brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal.
Considering everything that happened, are you, Tennessee fans out there, happy with this recruiting class? And let's assume that from this point forward it falls as we think it will, and that's Justin Hunter to Tennessee, James Stone to Tennessee, Damian Robinson even to Mississippi State. Right. Let's say, barring surprises, considering everything that's happened with the coaching change, the bad weather last weekend, are you happy with this recruiting class? 656-9900, star 990, a free cell phone call. 656-9900, star 990, a free cell phone call. And I remind you that you can see us online at govolsextra.com/sports page, where we'll have highlights. And feel free, guys, to go ahead and run highlights of any of these prospects. They're better looking than us, I can promise you that. Well, some of them. But we'll go to the phone lines. Are you happy with it? Now, first I'll ask you, Austin, should Tennessee fans be happy with this class, everything considered?
I think absolutely that they should. You look at everything. Everything was stacked against Derek Dooley and this staff. From the weather, as you mentioned last week, the hard times that people had getting in and out.
Go to Zach first.
You have Lane Kiffin's stunning departure earlier this month. You have 2.5 weeks to put this class together. You got to keep people in the fold. You had a fire that you had to put out, not just a mattress, but keeping kids on campus the very first night after Lane Kiffin, or the night that Lane Kiffin leaves. I think what they put together, you would have had to say, man, if you stay in the top 20, you got to be happy if you're a Tennessee fan. This has the potential to be in the top 10 according to some rankings.
Justin Hunter and Michael Rivera have signed per Josh Ward.
I don't see how you can possibly be disappointed.
This from Josh Ward and Jamie Shagrin. Justin Hunter and Michael Rivera have signed with Tennessee, so there's two more off the list, and suddenly this class is almost complete. As you broke earlier, Justin Hunter, the rumors were not true. He was going to sign with Tennessee all along.
That was a wild 10 minutes, though.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think the only guy we're waiting on right now is John Brown. If you can double-check with Josh, because I've got a running list here, and he has a running list. Josh Ward's done absolutely fantastic work for us. And if we can try to get Justin Hunter on the program, too, we'll go ahead and make him another target, Jamie Shagrin. But let's go to the phone lines for a moment. Are you happy with this signing class as it stands right now? And I think the possible only surprise out there would be a Damian Robinson. Zach, welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, Zach. Hello, Zach.
Hey, you hear me?
Hey, Zach. Thanks for calling.
All right. Good deal. Hey, buddy, I just want to let you know I think it's really nothing short of amazing. As Austin just said, coming in and just being able to put out fires from 2 weeks ago, but being able to get Hunter and Derrick Rogers, and if we possibly do get Stone, I could not be more thrilled. Hopefully they can continue this through next year with a full year under their belt, but I think it's outstanding.
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate the call. Here's the other thing you got to remember, too, is you didn't go out and hire a coach with a lot of pizzazz. And I don't mean that as a shot at Derek Dooley, but Tennessee went out and hired a coach that they think is going to be their best coach long term. They didn't hire a coach for this recruiting season. So he has 18 days, essentially, to put together this class.
Dwayne.
And the thing that I find interesting is if you go hire Nick Saban in Alabama 18 days before signing day, you're still going to have a decent haul because he's Nick Saban. If you hire Lane Kiffin and Monty Kiffin and Ed Orgeron, you're still going to have a decent haul 18 days before signing day because those are those guys. If Tennessee does secure a top 10 class and even a top 15, you got to say that Derek Dooley's done a heck of a job because he doesn't have the name recognition of either one of those guys or groups of guys.
But if you say that he wasn't necessarily hired for this class, well, I don't agree with that because of the way that the time frame worked with Mike Hamilton. He needed somebody when that period started. He needed somebody in place to get recruiting because in three full seasons from now, when we're evaluating the job that Derek Dooley has done, if he's struggling, we're not going to say, well, you got to throw out that first season. This is really only his second season because he had 3 weeks to get that class. We're not going to do that. Let's be honest. We would evaluate what he did in 3 full years on the field.
But my point being is if you wanted to go out and make that hire they wanted to make the hire quickly so the class did go in the tank. But if you wanted to go out and make a hire that would help you recruit immediately, and I mean recruit really well, you go out there and throw $4 million at Will Muschamp. Mm-hmm. And I think Tennessee made their hire for long-term more than the next 18 days when they hired him. That's my point.
Or Mike Hamilton is a genius and just knew that Derek Dooley could pull this off in 2.5 weeks.
Well, we shall see. Let's go to the
Michael Rivera.
Michael Rivera has also. I think we got that there, Jamie. Thank you, Michael Rivera.
No, he's on the air.
We do have Michael Rivera right now. Okay, Michael Rivera joins us now, tight end, College of the Canyons. Michael Rivera, how are you, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Doing great.
Talk about signing with Tennessee.
Signing with Tennessee, it's a dream come true. That's really all I can say about it. I mean, it's something I dreamed about from coming up from a little kid to be able to play college football, and this is something that just was in my plan from God, and here it goes, and I'm doing it.
You play tight end. You're a junior college guy. I hear that Derek Dooley is going to use a lot of the tight ends. Immediate playing time, how big of a factor was that?
It was a big factor. It was a real big factor because other schools that were recruiting me, that's what really everybody was talking about. And when Tennessee came into the picture, their program is awesome, and then that was something that they said was available for me immediately.
Michael, you and I talked, I think, a week ago, and not just the way that Tennessee plans on using the tight end, but you also mentioned you could possibly have 3 guys coaching your position. Lots of kitchens, chefs in the kitchen there working with you, and that can certainly help in development. I mean, when you hear that, I mean, how big of an influence was that on you?
That was a big influence too. My goal is to go to the NFL, and in order to go to the NFL, if you have a staff around you like that, it's something that's very special. And, you got to cherish that, and I had to go with them.
You also were considering Kansas State, but when you looked at the whole package, was there maybe one thing that tipped the scales in favor, or was it just Tennessee had a lot more to offer for you than K-State?
Well, don't get it wrong. K-State, when I went up there, that program, I respect Coach Snyder, and I respect that program, and they really captured my heart when I went up there. And after going to Tennessee, before I went to Tennessee, in my head I said, hey, it's going to be very hard for Tennessee to top Kansas State. And academically, on the field, coaching-wise, all the staff, facility-wise, they topped everything, and it was undeniable.
Michael, good stuff. I know it's a special day for you. Congratulations. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
Thanks a lot.
Michael Rivera. Stay tuned. The News Sentinel Sports Page brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal. We broadcast live from UT Federal Credit Union. A great time to shop for a new car or truck. UT Federal Credit Union wants to make your new car dreams a reality with fixed rates as low as 4.24%, plus a bonus for a limited time. You can choose from either a free GAP plan or up to $200 cash back from UT Federal Credit Union. Stay tuned. We broadcast live from UT Federal Credit Union on White Avenue, just behind Mellow Mushroom on the Strip, a signing day extravaganza. This is the Sports Animal.
The News Sentinel Sports Page.
Live, Dave.
Matters.
Covering sports in East Tennessee.
Like no.
Dave, you do it live?
No.
Only on the Sports Animal.
Chuck Ward here with Chuck Ward Real Estate Investments. You know my motto, I want to buy your house. Why wait for your house to sell as it sits on the market? Why dump money into a remodeling job you'll never recoup? Why ruin your credit? I want to buy your house. Estate homes, second homes, foreclosures, I want to buy your house. Ready to close? Ready for cash in 30 days. I want to buy your house.
Nothing goes better with great friends, great times, and special occasions like a great cigar. Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the owner of Leaf & Ale, Knoxville's traditional tobacconist, featuring cigars, microbrewed and import beers, pipes, and pipe tobaccos too. If you love a great cigar, you'll love Leaf & Ale. On the corner of Kingston Pike and Cedar Bluff, and online at leafandale.com.
You deserve the best. Leaf & Ale.
At Luttrell's Eyewear, we want you to feel and look great in your eyeglasses. With 2 locations in Bearden and Farragut, Luttrell's Eyewear offers frames that will complement your best features. Open Monday through Saturday with late evening hours, we specialize in prescription eyeglasses and provide eye exams by an optometrist or ophthalmologist by appointment. And check out our website at luttrellseyewear.com. Luttrell's Eyewear, where service meets fashion.
My big brother was trying to impress the cheerleaders. He was in the gym, pumping iron, showing off his muscles. And the weights fell and broke his foot. Now he's only allowed to pump gas.
Steps up, it's in.
Sarah just scored the winning goal in the last game of the season. Her dad couldn't make the game because he's out of town on a business trip, but he was able to watch his daughter during that exciting moment because of Knoxivi. Knoxivi is unique because its specifically local content reaches a global audience, making it possible for local businesses to reach their target market but still connect with viewers worldwide. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
I consider naming him Nightmare or Trouble, but I settle on cash because that's what he's cost me. Thousands of dollars in damage. I've got a line of credit, so I'm able to fix and replace everything. As for cash, he's in obedience school. I think we got the problem licked now.
My dad always wants to show my mom his great dance moves. The problem is, he has 2 left feet. Once, he stepped on her foot way too hard. Now my dad's only allowed to do karaoke.
You got Gus. Go.
Welcome back. The News Sentinel Sports Page brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal. Well, Damian Robinson just texted me and said remember I told you I originally said, did you sign with Mississippi State yet? And he goes, what do you mean by yet? I said, okay, did you sign with any school yet? And then he just texted me back and said, yes, I did.
Oh.
What school,
Well,
Damian?
Nobody really cares what school. He's going to college. All right.
Yeah, that's good for you. All right, so maybe he'll text me back in a second. You feel good about that?
I don't feel good about it. How long did this take?
Well, he just texted me just moments ago while I was getting some coffee.
Okay.
So, yes, he's in texting mode, I guess, is what I would call it.
Well, I don't think he's no Justin Hunter.
Oh, the coffee's fantastic here. If I may encourage you to come by UT Federal Credit Union.
Instant response.
That is good coffee. So, anyway, you did get with Justin Hunter very quickly. I think you broke that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
656.
So now I do have some proof that I can break some national news that you didn't believe before.
Semi.
Oh.
656-9900.
Really, I was just desperate because of my feature today.
Star 990, a free cell phone call. That was a great feature in Justin Hunter. It's even better now that he's going to sign with Tennessee and it ran in the Knoxville paper.
Yeah, we don't have to run an entire retraction of how great this class is shaping up to be.
He's really not that good. He's not a good player. Let's go to the phone lines. Today's tough question: are you happy with this recruiting class? Gus, welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, Gus.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Gus. Thanks for calling.
Busy times, huh, Dave?
A little bit, my friend.
First of all, I am thrilled to death with what Coach Dooley has done. I think he stepped into a snake pit and has avoided getting bit, and he's just done a phenomenal job considering the time and, as you guys said, the weather and everything else that, I mean, when was the last time we had a winter like this in East Tennessee? So really, he's done a wonderful job, and I'm just thrilled. I hate to see we've lost a couple of guys, but, overall, this will probably be a top 10 class, I believe. And, yes, I'm very much thrilled. And kudos to Coach Dooley. You were talking about Justin Wilcox, and if we have hired him, I remember, I'm old enough to remember his father, who played for the 49ers, and he was one heck of a linebacker. Was an All-Pro many years. Of course, he's in the Hall of Fame, the National Football League Hall of Fame. Great football family. And I just believe this young man will come in. I like his age. He's young and aggressive. And, I think it's a little misleading that Boise State didn't stop anybody. Granted, they did a lot of loud points, but, they led a lot of the statistics in their conference defensively. And so I believe, he's going to be coaching a different type talent. I'm very encouraged by that hire, if it is indeed been a hire. I just think he's putting a good staff together, and I hope we have the cohesiveness with this staff that we appeared to have on this last one for a while. And I also would like to say that now we have this new coach, and we've gone through signing days. Can we not mention the former coach anymore? I'm sick and tired of listening about their antics in Knoxville, Dave, You talking
about Philip Fulmer?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll work on that. Thank you, Gus. I appreciate that. And you can't blame Derek Dooley for losing out on Glenn Stanley. That's an academic thing. The SEC has, from what I've been told, it is an academic thing. The SEC requires an extra math and an extra English for junior college transfers. So you can't blame him for that.
No. And in terms of address, Justin Wilcox again, and I don't ever want to discredit other media sources. I don't know who they're talking to, but it's important to look at this.
You don't believe it,
market.
do you? You think they're absolute?
I don't believe it.
Really crazy.
I don't believe it right now, and I don't know that they're jumping the gun. I believe that he was interviewed, but somebody else here, this market, somebody else would have it. Okay, I wouldn't be afraid to give them credit. Nobody is saying that Justin Wilcox is done at Tennessee.
We had a TV station here report it. What do you make of that?
I have not heard that. I haven't seen it in other newspapers or websites. I obviously have some people inside that I can talk to, and so do you. I'm not hearing it.
Well, the thing you have to remember,
Edric Lofton's ready,
is a lot of times you will hear TV stations share information and then they don't credit it. So I don't attribute it. I don't know where that's coming from. Edric Lofton joins us now. He is a safety out of Nimitz High School in Irving, Texas. I'm assuming that he is a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Edric, is that true?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. What happened to our Cowboys this year, Edric? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, guess too much Vikings. All I can say, really, everything explains itself. So I don't know. We couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, well, let's hope next year brings better years or worse years, and they get rid of Wade Phillips. What do you think?
I think he's a good coach. He didn't take it far. He got to probably next year try to get a little closer to the championship. Probably we can get it.
You guys need to stop talking about the Cowboys.
Fair enough.
Mr. Lofton, your decision. How are you feeling? This is a big day for you. It's official. You were a Tennessee Volunteer. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm excited and everything. We about to get ready to sign here in a couple minutes. So I'm just ready to get it over and I'm excited about being a Tennessee Volunteer.
First of all, let me make sure. Is it Edric or Edric? Which do you prefer?
It's Edric.
Edric, I'm sorry. Edric, let me ask you about the whole Willie Mack Garza scenario. He recruits you. You commit to Tennessee. You really like Willie Mack Garza. And then he goes to USC and he comes after you. How crazy was that whole thing?
Excuse me?
How crazy was the fact that you committed to Willie Mack Garza and then he's at Southern Cal?
I can't hear you. Hold on one second.
Okay, let's get him to a quieter place.
Yeah.
Hello?
Right. Yes, sorry about that.
All right, I can hear you better now.
How crazy was it that Willie Mack Garza, he recruits you and then he goes to another school and that sort of transition? What was that like?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I feel like if you're going to recruit somebody, you should stick with them and everything. And that was a big reason why I committed and everything to him. So it was but after talking to Coach Dooley and everything, I was sold to him. So it's not that big of a decision for me.
How hard was Willie Mac Garza on you to take a look at Southern Cal?
He was on me pretty hard. I think he really wanted him to get me down, but I already made my mind up. So what I made my mind up with.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you get to your ceremony. Have a good time.
All right, you too.
Thank you, Edric Lofton, joining us now. Edric, right?
Edric, he's
Edric.
And
Like
when I talked to him, I think it was a week and a half ago when he committed. He's a guy who's very excited about the way that the Vols had used Eric Berry and the safeties close to the line of scrimmage. He's a guy who said he wanted to come up and play against the run. Kind of fancies himself as a big hitter as well. So could be a guy who could possibly work in the mix, because there are some holes, and he addressed that with me as well, that with Dennis Rogan and Eric Berry leaving early, there's some chances to contribute right away in the secondary.
Check us out at GoVolsExtra.com/sports page, and you can watch video of me, Dave Hooker, and Austin Ward. But more importantly, we'll have highlight video running throughout the day of the prospects that have now signed with Tennessee. We'll have a complete rundown coming up. Stay tuned. The News Sentinel Sports page brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal. Come see us on TV as we broadcast live from UT Federal Credit Union right here off of White Avenue, just behind Mellow Mushroom on the Strip. This is the Sports Animal.
There's never been a more important time to invest in your local economy. Why purchase national brands and let your dollars leave your community when you can do business with local companies?
Hey, this is Oliver Wright with Sportsgate. You can catch Sportsgate every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com. We'll have in-studio guests, post-game interviews, and all the sports coverage you can handle. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com. Hey, this is...
Nothing goes better with great friends, great times, and special occasions like a great cigar. Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the owner of Leaf & Ale, Knoxville's traditional tobacconist, featuring cigars, microbrewed and import beers, pipes, and pipe tobaccos too. If you love a great cigar, you'll love Leaf & Ale. On the corner of Kingston Pike and Cedar Bluff, and online at leafandale.com.
You deserve the best. Leaf and Ale.
At Luttrell's Eyewear, we want you to feel and look great in your eyeglasses. With 2 locations in Bearden and Farragut, Luttrell's Eyewear offers frames that will complement your best features. Open Monday through Saturday with late evening hours, we specialize in prescription eyeglasses and provide eye exams by an optometrist or ophthalmologist by appointment. And check out our website at luttrellseyewear.com. Luttrell's Eyewear, where service meets fashion.
So how do you get people through your front door? Newspaper, radio, TV. Name recognition for a small business usually comes at a pretty high price. Without a limitless advertising budget, it's difficult, if not impossible, for a small business to brand itself in the local market.
Never mind a global one, but there is an answer. Advertising with Knoxivi makes global branding power affordable for you, the small business owner.
And every time a potential client visits our website, your logo makes an impression. People begin to recognize your presence. The icing on the cake?
One click on an ad link is like a customer walking through your front door. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
I'm Don Sproles.
And I'm Karen Sproles.
We are the owners of the Lunchbox Restaurants.
Our cooking here is a lot like you would do in your own home.
It's like having you in our living room, having you in our dining room.
We do everything from scratch. All of our baking, all of our cooking is done from scratch. We know what's in our product. Our catering services are rather unique in that we're totally customized. We've done dinners for 2 people that a husband will pick up and surprise his wife with and take home. And we've done 1,500 box breakfasts. We can produce a wonderful event regardless of what your budget is.
We have customers that we feed today that we fed June 3rd, 1981. I think we can take a great deal of satisfaction out of that. And we enjoy working together and have continued to do that all these years.
I consider naming him Nightmare or Trouble, but I settle on cash because that's what he's cost me. Thousands of dollars in damage. I've got a line of credit, so I'm able to fix and replace everything. As for cash, he's in obedience school. I think we got the problem licked now.
Steps up, it's in.
Sarah just scored the winning goal in the last game of the season. Her dad couldn't make the game because he's out of town on a business trip, but he was able to watch his daughter during that exciting moment because of Knoxivi. Knoxivi is unique because its specifically local content reaches a global audience, making it possible for local businesses to reach their target market but still connect with viewers worldwide. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
News Sentinel Sports Page, presented by Image Matters, exclusively on the Sports app.
Ready?
Yes.
Go.
Welcome back. The News Sentinel Sports Page brought to you by Image Matters on these Sports Animals. We broadcast live from UT Federal Credit Union with Austin Ward. I'm Dave Hooker. Check us out online on video at GoVolsExtra.com/sports page. And I think we have video of Justin Hunter, right? We have video of Justin Hunter. We can go ahead and start to play. We thank our friends at Knoxivi.com for setting us up there. It's been super cool. Go ahead and play some Hunter video if you can. And talk to Justin Hunter. I'm trying to get him on the air, but nevertheless, I want people online to be able to see that video. Here's a guy that you interviewed. There were some rumors about Virginia, but he does indeed sign with Tennessee. And when you talk about Tennessee's wide receiver class, now with the Rick Rogers, who has signed with Tennessee, now with Matt Milton, who's already on campus, it literally could be the best wide receiver class in the nation.
And that's without Markeith Ambles.
Right.
You look at it.
And is twittering.
Absolutely. It's kind of a addition by subtraction there. But you look at these guys, it's I think comparable to what happened with Marcellus Teague and Nukees Richardson, because you went into
good comparison.
You went into Georgia, okay, and you get to Rick Rogers. Absolute huge get. You have LSU, where Justin Hunter was originally committed, and then they have a coaching situation there that talks him out of his commitment there. So you have those two schools. You're getting them from SEC rivals. These guys are absolute playmakers, possibly guys who would have a bigger impact. I think the way that it might be an impact on Marcellus Teague, where you might look to use him another way, because these guys, I think, are going to come in with a lot of momentum, a lot of ability, and that's to take nothing away from Teague, because he's shown a lot of ability and potential himself and made some strides throughout the year. But this class that's come in, I don't think you're going to be able to keep him on the sideline.
Let's give you a complete rundown of what we got working right here. James Stone is preparing to announce that he will be signing with Tennessee, according to multiple sources. Damian Robinson has signed with Mississippi State, so there was a chance there for a I wouldn't call it a long shot, but a fairly long shot. And Christian Jones signed with FSU. That was a really long shot. I didn't think Tennessee really even had an opportunity there. The one we're basically waiting on is John Brown, and Tennessee's class will be complete, aside from possibly Tennessee going out and getting another prospect, because by my count, well, now I think they'll be right at 27, which is where I had them pegged, because they lose Ralph Williams and Glenn Stanley. So I think there's a possibility they've got another scholarship they could give. So they could then get to 27. The problem is now, I think you've got to be realistic when you're rebuilding a program. Is that really what you want to do, get a guy that's that questionable? Because obviously you thought Raquez Crump was questionable. That's why you waited till the night before signing day. So if you got somebody you're getting today, you're thinking they're really, really questionable.
Yeah, well, and you have to. I think
a lot of them have signed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think that you'd have to evaluate why exactly they're left on the board, what their risk is. Is it because they're a borderline talent? If that's the case, then you can maybe make that gamble. You can bring them in and let them work, as long as they've got their academics in order, and you're taking somebody from a lower level and trying to develop a talent. If the question is academic issue, you don't burn that scholarship, because it might not burn you in year one. It might be a sophomore year that you end up getting hit on that scholarship. So you have to evaluate what the risk would be and the reward. And I think in that case it would just be taking a prospect as opposed to a risk.
I would think the lower level guys have probably already signed with other schools, like much lower level schools like Wyoming. Didn't you graduate from Wyoming?
What, the New Mexico Bowl champions?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, let's go to the phone lines. 656-9900, star 998, free cell phone call. Dwayne, welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, Dwayne.
Guys, how you doing?
Fantastic, Dwayne. Thanks for calling.
Hey, I just want to say it's a great day in Bell Nation. It doesn't matter where these guys go, these other colleges and so forth. Your blood bleeds orange. I mean, it stays orange, and it's like, I'm sure that Derek Dooley's going to do a good job. He's going to get our program back in order and everything, and I think that everything's just going to turn out just fine. And I think in 2 years, 3 years from now, we're going to be glad we got rid of Kiffin.
Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate the call. National Signing Day happy hour hits earlier and earlier. Let's go, Jerry. Welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, Jerry.
Hey, Dave.
Jerry, thanks for calling, sir.
Dave, I'm stoked about the class. I think our coach come in here and, nationally anyway, they were really writing us off, saying the class was going to crumble. No, he held it together, Dave. And, you look at some of the kids, the Hunter kid, he was going to LSU if Dooley's not here. Derek Rogers, I mean, we planted the seed there getting Nash. They get Derek Rogers. That is huge, man. You look at James Stone, he's probably going to Bama if Kiffin's here. And you know what? As much as I despise Kiffin and all that now, him and Coach Ogeron, and I did say Ogre, they laid a lot of the foundation for this class. But I'm very impressed with what Coach Dooley's done here, Dave. And if you look at the class top to bottom, I think we answered a lot of needs, man. We've got some horses coming in here on the offensive line. I know some of them may end up over on the defensive line, but you got some horses coming in there. You got a big kicker coming in here. We certainly answered needs at quarterback, offensive line. And, man, these receivers, to me, Dave, when I look at them, and forget Ambles, I'm not sure that kid can read or write. But, anyway, I just think it's great, man.
Jerry, thank you, sir. I appreciate the call. As far as addressing needs, it's pretty much impossible to do that with 18 days recruiting. You just kind of hope to get the most talented players, and it falls where it falls. Tennessee somewhat addressed the offensive line needs. They somewhat addressed the defensive line needs, but I don't think adequately enough on the defensive line. And obviously they felt like they had to address linebacker because they were willing to take that flyer on Rockaway's Crump.
Yeah, I mean, that's their – obviously they know better than I do, but I think they're fine. At any rate, when you look at what they did, Kiffin and Orgeron and Monty and all those guys, they did lay some foundation last year. However, they left the cupboards pretty bare on both lines, I think. And that's going to be a glaring issue on this football team when September rolls around. And I don't know – you couldn't really address that in 2.5 weeks. I mean, you don't have time, and that's those positions in particular, you need time to learn them. I mean, not everybody's going to be Aaron Douglas and slide over from tight end and be an all-SEC type performer.
Let's go, Clint. Welcome to the program. You're in the page. Hello, Clint.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my phone call. We're not getting much in Memphis, so we're on the Internet, and if you'll do us a favor, we'd appreciate it. At the end of the show, can you summarize by numbers the signings we got by position and give us a grade in terms of how we've done versus our needs? Is that possible?
I can probably do the second part of that right now. I would argue that in terms of by need, this class is a B because I think defensive tackle was a huge, huge need that Tennessee didn't adequately address. And as I said before, I don't think they really could have. I also think that offensive line, I'd throw a couple more in there for a perfect type of class. But again, you're shorthanded. But I think the class considering is an A- top class. But addressing need, I'd call it a B. What do you think, Austin? You about with that?
I think that's fair, but we'll know for sure what the grade is for the offensive and defensive line. Like I said, in August and in spring ball, even when we see how thin the guys are there. Those would be the positions that are at issue. Otherwise, you have a big-time safety coming in Edric Lofton. You got a kicker to come in, and that's not a need that you thought you were going to have with Daniel Lincoln. But you've got a couple quarterbacks. I think you've addressed everything that you really need to other than those two positions. So that B is very fair.
Right now, I have 2 quarterbacks, 4 offensive linemen, 2 running backs, This is off the top of my head. I'll go ahead and warn you. Three defensive ends, 4 wide receivers if you want to count Moline in the wide receiver group, a place kicker, a tight end, 3 defensive backs, defensive linemen, 1, 2, 3, 4 should be right. Mostly defensive ends. I think I got it right there. I'm sure I was off somewhere.
Nothing between those ends.
If we can also pull up the video, and again, check us out on GoVolsExtra.com/sports page of Nash Nance. That's the quarterback out of Calhoun, Georgia. Nash Nance is a guy that, hey, let's be frank, you got him to try to give yourself a shot at Rick Rogers. Now, I don't think that Nash Nance is terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but you're talking about a guy that at one time garnered some interest from Arkansas, was a Vanderbilt commitment. You clearly offer that guy in hopes that Rick Rogers ends up at Tennessee as well. Do you have a problem with package deals?
No, and as it relates to this one in particular, Nance can compete. He can compete with Tyler Bray. He can compete with Matt Sims.
You have an opening there.
You have Nick Stevens coming back, but he's a 1-year guy. You need to generate some competition and some depth behind whoever is the quarterback. So if it's to take a quarterback to get a receiver like this, I think you absolutely pull the trigger, because I know that he was a Vanderbilt commit, but he was still an SEC commit if you want to reach that way. So it's not like people didn't think that he could compete.
It's a reach when we're talking about the Commodores. I love you, but
I know it is, but I'm trying to find some justification for it here. It's not like they're playing in a different league.
It's not Wyoming. But it's clearly Vanderbilt.
Well, if they could have signed Austin Carter-Samuels, then they absolutely would have.
UT Federal Credit Union now open to you if you live, work, or attend school in Knox, Anderson, Blount, Loudoun, or Union counties. You can join UT Federal Credit Union. Check them out on the web at utfcu.org. It's Gary. Welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, Gary.
Yes, hello. Is this me?
Gary, yes, sir. Thank you for calling.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to share. But I have a question about just the team standing and recruiting. Now, the way I look at it, give me an example. I'm a Buckeye fan, and I think Ohio State, the last time I looked a few days ago, was 14th or 16th. I forget where Tennessee was. But what I do is I go over to the average of the stars. Now, I don't weigh a whole lot of weight on the stars, so to speak. A.J. Hawk was a 3-star coming in, and he ended up a 6-star, whatever. But if you look at the cumulative rankings as far as the quality of the players, I think Ohio State, give me an example, not to sound Ohio State, but I think they were like 5th or 6th in the team rankings this year. I know you could. I'm driving right now, so I'd be interested in knowing Tennessee, where they're at, and when you do it that way. In other words, what we're talking about is quality rather than quantity. I think we remember when USC a few years ago had like 30 recruits or something, and I don't know how many of them. I think Monday or Moody or whatever his name was transferred over to Florida. But the other thing is, do you know where Henderson's gone yet?
I have not heard at this point. I've been pretty zoned in on Tennessee. I think he's supposed to announce later this afternoon with Philip Fulmer and Tom Lemming.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Gary.
You know what else would be?
What's that? Sorry, Gary. I didn't mean to cut you short there. Seems like a lot of research. Ultimately, though, I think Tennessee will be somewhere in that 8 to 14 range.
David.
I like the average star approach. I do.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, but Tennessee is going to have 26 or 27 signees, so it's not like they had a small class that would hurt them in rankings anyway.
No, but that is a good way to do it, and you need to look at the average of it. I think what'll be more interesting is to look at if Tennessee does finish around 7, 8, 9, 10 nationally. If they're 5th in the SEC, then you're still kind of treading water for a little bit, and obviously it's not an exact science, but that perception is out there. And even if you pass Georgia, in 2.5 weeks, that's pretty good for Derek Dooley. But the point is, it's going to take a little while before they're actually going to compete for an SEC championship. It's not going to happen next year or in 2 years, and I think a lot of people realize that. But you have to start not only getting to the top 5 if you're going to compete for a championship, but you have to be in the top 2 or 3 in the SEC.
Agreed. 656-9900 star 990, a free cell phone
David.
call. It's time for 4 Downs. It's brought to you by Knoxville Deck and More. Check them out at knoxvilledeck.com.
Never afraid to talk football.
Let's play some football.
4 Downs.
Ready, green 54, green 54, set, hut.
Now,
a touchdown.
4 Downs. Brought to you by Knoxville Deck and More. Magnolia underdecking, screened-in porches, decks 12 by 12 as big as you can imagine. KnoxvilleDeck.com.
First down, Jamie Shagrin.
Fill in the blank. This is the best Tennessee wide receiver recruiting class since.
I can't. I can't. It's going to take some research. I think there's a good chance that it's going to be the best since they started keeping rankings, which is about 12 years ago. Was it the Meacham class that was so good?
Yeah, with Swain and Smith.
Yeah, I think it'll be better than that one, the way I remember it.
It'll certainly rival it, and it's looking like not just where it ranks for Tennessee, but if it's the best one in the country, that's something pretty incredible that Derek Dooley can hang his hat on.
But based off some numbers I was looking at yesterday, I think it will be. Yeah. I really do. Second down, Jamie Shagrin.
Which wide receiver will have a better college career, Markeith Ambles or Derek Rogers?
I'm going to say that it's that's a tough one. I'm going to go with Ambles because he's got a rising sophomore quarterback in Matt Barkley.
I'm going to go with Rogers because I think that he'll be able to complete his college career.
You don't think a lot of Markeith Ambles smarts?
I'm absolutely dumbfounded by Markeith Ambles.
He's a Trogan.
I lost intelligence by reading what he had to say.
He's a Trogan. He said, "Who am I going to be? A Vol, a Tar Heel, or a Trogan? Trogan."
That's literally the most embarrassing thing that you could ever put out there. I mean, you can't recover from that. And if you're a USC fan, how are you going to welcome this guy? You don't even know how to spell the name of the. You can't spell the nickname.
There's a 50-50 chance that Ed Orgeron can't spell the nickname either.
There's a 50-50 chance Knox Kiffin's renamed Trogan.
Third down, Jamie Shagrin.
What Tennessee signee is a sleeper of this class?
Sleeper of the class. Good question. Something I was going to write later, but go ahead and put me on the spot. I'll do it now.
This will be a practice run.
Yeah. I'll say Dave Clark, junior college defensive back. I think he's a guy that could come in and play pretty quickly.
I think in terms of sleeper, you can't. I mean,
don't steal Dave Clark from me.
I don't want Dave Clark. You can have Dave Clark. I want Raquest Crump. I think this.
Oh, come on.
That doesn't mean he's going to be doing it as a freshman, but I think he.
What does that mean? Start 3 games as a senior?
You don't think that he can ever contribute?
No, I think he might, but let's be realistic.
I don't discount guys who have that kind of work ethic and drive. And the guy's got athleticism, or they wouldn't even offer him in the first place.
Okay. Fourth down, Jamie Shagrin.
It's a sleeper.
Yeah, sleeper. It is a sleeper.
With Mark Richt losing Derek Rogers and other highly touted recruits, is this the beginning of the end for Mark Richt at Georgia?
You know, I think it might be. And we talked to Tom Lemming about the perception of your program. Is it up or is it down? And the perception right now is that Georgia's on its way down. I don't know how many games they'll win in 2010, but that's the perception. And he's had to replace the defensive coordinator. We don't know how that's going to work. Thought that was a questionable hire. Yeah, I think we are seeing – I don't even think it's the beginning of the end. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th chapter in a 10-chapter book of the end of Mark Richt.
I think that it's like the 9th chapter.
Do you?
Yeah.
That would imply to me that he's getting fired after this year. You think that?
It's either this year and then the 10th chapter is his last season, or 2 years. I think he's going to be gone much sooner than later. And it's not just – Derek Rogers. They're losing guys out of Georgia that they would have never lost 5 years ago. Even look at they're losing some specific to Tennessee. If you can't get Eric Berry or Derek Rogers, I mean, those are the guys that you have to win championships, and he's not going to do it.
It's 4 Downs. It's brought to you by Knoxville Deck and More. Check them out at knoxvilledeck.com.
Knoxville Deck and...
Dave, can you please do it live here?
You know, baby.
Deck on...
Plan a sweeper first.
Your warranty. knoxvilledeck.com.
The News Sentinel Sports Page, presented by Image Matters. From D1 to the back, only on.
Putting on.
Sports Animal.
You can absolutely save thousands on the Ultimate Drive at Grayson BMW, the ultimate driving machine. I'm talking about 2009 BMWs, some still available. Not a lot, I'm going to tell you, but those that are available have been marked down drastically. Save thousands. Only a few left. If you're looking for a great deal on a great vehicle, come check out the 2009 selection. BMW is starting off 2010 with some great lease specials. Also with 2010 328i sedans as low as $379 a month, and the 128i Coupe as low as $349 a month. Who could think of a better way to start the new decade than a new BMW? They have over 100 new BMWs ready for immediate delivery. Interest rates as low as 1.9% for up to 60 months. I've said it before. I had no idea what to expect out of a BMW until just a few months ago when I drove one. I realized I had to have one. It is the ultimate driving machine. Grayson BMW also is your exclusive dealer right here in Knoxville for BMW. So give them a call or go to GraysonBMW.com or check them out. Take an exhilarating test drive is what you ought to do. Right there at Level Road at the entrance to Turkey Creek. That's Grayson BMW, home of the ultimate driving machine, Grayson BMW.
Image Matters has been served.
Hey, Dave, I'm still working on those guys, but none of them are picking up.
They combine a knowledgeable sales staff with fast, friendly service to help you develop your plan for success. With a wide range of technology solutions and document management, Image Matters is...
I consider naming him Nightmare or Trouble, but I settle on cash because that's what he's cost me. Thousands of dollars in damage. I've got a line of credit, so I'm able to fix and replace everything. As for cash, he's in obedience school. I think we got the problem licked now.
Nothing goes better with great friends, great times, and special occasions like a great cigar. Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the owner of Leaf & Ale, Knoxville's traditional tobacconist, featuring cigars, microbrewed and import beers, pipes, and pipe tobaccos too. If you love a great cigar, you'll love Leaf & Ale. On the corner of Kingston Pike and Cedar Bluff, and online at leafandale.com.
You deserve the best. Leaf and Ale.
At Luttrell's Eyewear, we want you to feel and look great in your eyeglasses. With 2 locations in Bearden and Farragut, Luttrell's Eyewear offers frames that will complement your best features. Open Monday through Saturday with late evening hours, we specialize in prescription eyeglasses and provide eye exams by an optometrist or ophthalmologist by appointment. And check out our website at luttrellseyewear.com. Luttrell's Eyewear, where service meets fashion.
My big brother was trying to impress the cheerleaders. He was in the gym, pumping iron, showing off his muscles. And the weights fell and broke his foot. Now he's only allowed to pump gas.
Steps up, it's in.
Sarah just scored the winning goal in the last game of the season. Her dad couldn't make the game because he's out of town on a business trip, but he was able to watch his daughter during that exciting moment because of Knoxivi. Knoxivi is unique because its specifically local content reaches a global audience, making it possible for local businesses to reach their target market but still connect with viewers worldwide. Knoxivi, new answers for new media.
I'm Don Sproles.
And I'm Karen Sproles.
We are the owners of the Lunchbox Restaurants.
Our cooking here is a lot like you would do in your own home.
It's like having you in our living room, having you in our dining room.
We do everything from scratch. All of our baking, all of our cooking is done from scratch. We know what's in our product. Our catering services are rather unique in that we're totally customized. We've done dinners for 2 people that a husband will pick up and surprise his wife with and take home. And we've done 1,500 box breakfasts. We can produce a wonderful event regardless of what your budget is.
We have customers that we feed today that we fed June 3rd, 1981. I think we can take a great deal of satisfaction out of that. We enjoy working together and have continued to do that all these years.
Hey, this is Oliver Wright with SportsGate. You can catch SportsGate every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com. We'll have in-studio guests, post-game interviews, and all the sports coverage you can handle. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com.
Welcome back. The News Sentinel Sports Page brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal. If you want to get on board, a good time to do it. I haven't run this down yet, but it's a guy I trust, that Tennessee actually at one point today was rated at 4th in the country on a running top of
as the yellow eyes roll in.
Yeah. On Rivals. If you could check that, it's according to Jerry Crabtree, I believe. If you could check that, Jamie Shagrin, I would greatly appreciate it. Listen, you have no right to complain if they're in the top 5.
Even if they were there just briefly and then fall to 10. I mean, you can't – there's nothing to feel bad about. And Derek Dooley should be extremely proud of the work that he's done.
656-9900, star 998, free cell phone call if you want to get on board. Good time to do it. Today's tough question is who or what do you think of this class? Are you pleased with this class? David, welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, David.
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call.
Hey, thank you.
I am extremely pleased with the effort that Dooley has put forth in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's showing up in his work. I had one question regarding Chaz Green. Do you guys know anything about him, about when he's scheduled to announce and where he's going to wind up?
I believe Florida, but I haven't seen a time for him because I kind of marked him off Tennessee's board, frankly.
No chance of Tennessee getting back in on him?
Not from what I've been told, no.
Okay, all right. That was my main question.
Thank you, David. Can you check that for me, Jamie? See if you've heard any word of where Chaz Green is ending up. Right now, according to Tim Grumblot, UT standing at 8 on Rivals. That's pretty strong. Now, you've got some West Coast schools that are a little bit behind. They're just now starting to get those letters, I imagine. So that could dip. But you would think Tennessee's going to end up in the top 15, worst-case scenario.
Absolutely. And I think we've made a big deal of talking about what Derek Dooley did in 2.5 weeks. We'd be remiss if we didn't give a lot of credit to Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, and Lance Thompson for the job that they did holding the class together. They are the only holdovers from Lane Kiffin's staff, maintaining relationships, helping Derek Dooley and the new guys hit the ground running. I think those guys definitely phenomenal job. MVPs of the coaching staff, no question.
Speaking of, it's time for the Ultimate Drive. It's brought to you by Grayson BMW, home of the Ultimate Driving Machine.
The Ultimate Drive is brought to you by Grayson BMW, home of the Ultimate Driving Machine. Never before has it been easier to own a BMW. Low financing, fantastic incentives. Grayson BMW at the corner of Parkside Drive and Level Road, across from the entrance of Turkey Creek. Or check out GraysonBMW.com. Grayson BMW.
Well, I think the Ultimate Drive is Lance Thompson, Tennessee's linebackers coach, hopping in the car and driving through the snow to go get Markeith Ambles last Saturday. I know Tennessee didn't end up landing Ambles, but that was pretty strong. To hop in the car and go down there and pick him up in Atlanta and get him to Knoxville for an official visit, that was big time.
And that's just a perfect example of what these guys did. The hours they worked, the miles that they logged, and planes and cars and trains and whatever. I mean, they just did an absolutely fantastic job.
It's like traveling with John Candy.
It is.
It is.
Don't give him your credit card.
The Ultimate Drive, and it's brought to you by Grayson BMW, home of the Ultimate Driving Machine. Dave Clark, a Tennessee signee, joins us next.
A new decade, a new drive. The Ultimate Drive, a BMW from Grayson BMW, home of the Ultimate Driving Machine. And now you can save thousands on Grayson BMW's fantastic selection, which includes a few remaining 2009s. And as for those 2010s, Grayson BMW is starting off the new decade with some great lease specials, with a 2010 328i sedan as low as $379 a month and a 128i coupe as low as $349 a month. Whether it's a 3, 5, 7 Series, a convertible, or an SUV, there's a perfect BMW for you. Grayson has over 100 new BMWs ready for immediate delivery. Interest rates as low as 1.9% for up to 60 months. Head to Grayson BMW for an exhilarating test drive at the corner of Parkside Drive and Level Road at the entrance to Turkey Creek. Or
10 seconds.
BMW.com, where you can view their 250 new and pre-owned vehicles online. Grayson BMW, home of the ultimate drive.
Dave Clark's ready.
Grayson BMW.
Dave Clark joins us now. He is a defensive back out of Independence Community College, originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 6'2", 190 pounds is what I've got him listed at. He is signed with Tennessee today. Dave, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Dave, just moments ago, we were asked who might be the sleeper of this group, and I picked you, and it's not just because we have the same first name. What do you think of that?
It's exciting. It's exciting.
You've got to be excited to come in here and play at Tennessee, given the fact that they lost so much in their secondary. Eric Berry, Dennis Rogan. You feel pretty good about your opportunity to play early?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's a very right time. It's a very good time with everything, with the whole process and everything. I'm just glad Tennessee chose me as it.
When you were going through that process and they were talking about the ways that they might use you, how much Eric Berry did they show, or Dennis Rogan, or show you the way that you would fit in that type of system if they're trying to keep it the same? Or how do they use you?
You know, with a whole new coaching staff and everything, I think things will be kind of more spiced up. Yeah, I think they looking to go as a more man-to-man zone instead of just a cover-two team. So I don't really know like the whole details right now, but whatever the plan is, I know it's a great one.
Dave, can you talk about some of the guys that recruited you from Tennessee?
Coach Dooley, very good guy, very good guy. Coach Joseph, he a good guy as well. Me and Coach Joe, I had committed to Kansas, but Coach Joe still was recruiting me, even though I was committed. So we had built a connection.
Yeah, Dave, I also wonder what you think about playing in the SEC. Maybe we're biased. I don't think so, but most of the people in the country seem to think that the SEC is the best conference. What's your take on that?
Dream come true. It's a dream come true. No, growing up watching LSU, SEC. It'll be a good experience for me. It's a dream come true without a doubt, though.
All right, good stuff. I appreciate the time, Dave. We'll talk to you soon. Congratulations.
All right, thanks.
Dave Clark, defensive back out of Independence Community College in Kansas. A junior college defensive back you would think would have the opportunity to play really early at Tennessee. 656-9900, star 990, a free cell phone call. Tim Grumblot telling me that Chaz Green announcing at 3:30 on ESPN today. Again, I don't think Tennessee's in that. I think that Chaz Green will probably end up at Florida. And Tennessee standing at number 8 right now on Rivals.com in terms of national rating. Do we know, guys, and I know this may take a second, but do we know back at the studio, is that based off just signed letters of intent, or is that based off signees and commitments that they believe are going to that school, if that question makes sense? Does that make sense, Jamie Shagrin?
Of signees.
Oh, it's just signees. Okay, so Tennessee's probably going to drop a little bit. You would think a couple of people would pass them since their class is almost complete.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's fine. I don't know at what point I would call it a disappointment. I don't think I could. But if you fall at 12 or 13, given the circumstances, that's still enough to feel good about.
Yep, I agree. 656-9900, star 990, a free cell phone call. Working on getting James Stone on the program. Working on getting several other prospects. The ones we don't get, many of them you will hear on GoVolsExtra.com later this afternoon. And don't forget about our a very special recruiting section that comes out each and every year, our signing day spectacular. You'll have breakdowns of every single player. You will have complete coverage of not only UT but the SEC and nationally. We might even mention that coach that went out to Los Angeles.
I don't know. We're not supposed to do that anymore.
We're not supposed to do that anymore, but it's all there tomorrow. And you can watch us online right now on TV practically. GoVolsExtra.com /sports page. where we're playing highlights and all sorts of things of the Tennessee signees. I want to remind you that UT Federal Credit Union is open to you if you live, work, or attend school in Knox, Anderson, Blount, or Loudoun, or Union counties. You can join UT Federal Credit Union. Check them out on the web at utfcu.org. utfcu.org. We broadcast live from the location right here on White Avenue. It's just behind Mellow Mushroom off the Strip. We would love to see you here. UT Federal Credit Union also has locations in Knoxville, Martin, Memphis, Gainesville, Tuscaloosa, Oxford, Nashville, Columbia, and Lexington. With almost 4,000 shared branch offices, there's one near your home, too. Guaranteed. This fall, visit UTFCU's newest branch at the UC. That's the only bank on campus. Check them out at theonlybankoncampus.com. To the phone lines we go. Roy, welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, Roy.
I love your show, buddy.
Yes, thank you.
I just want to tell you, you're doing pretty good for just going on 4 hours of sleep.
Thank you, sir. It's caffeine.
And also, I'm very excited what Double D's doing for us. He's got us moving in the right direction, and I have not been this excited, I guess, ever since Johnny Majors left. Dave?
That's
and
pretty.
Wow. There's a national championship in there, I think.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
We're going to be rotating 3 quarterbacks.
Goodness gracious, I hope not, David. I appreciate the call. If that's the case, I might just go cover Wyoming.
I don't see any possible scenario that would play out with 3 rotating quarterbacks.
Libby?
I see a couple of different scenarios in terms of quarterbacks. I see Nick Stevens just grabbing the reins, and he's the guy. He's a senior. That's very possible. He has the most experience, college experience of either of these guys, not junior college experience. Or if that doesn't turn out to be the case, I think you see Matt Sims step in there, and eventually one of the younger guys, you would think likely Tyler Bray, since he's got a semester head start, is probably a little more talented than Nash Nance, eventually take that job. That's. I think there's 2 scenarios. That's how it plays out.
Yeah, you're not going to really – I can't see an alternating – situation with Nick Stevens and Bray or Sims because and a combination, not the 3 of them, because if you determine that Stevens isn't the guy, you don't waste that year. I mean, he's not coming back. You're not going to develop him. You move on. You got the guys that are going to stay in the program. So you don't really want to go back and forth either, I think, with Sims and Bray. You want to let somebody take the job and run with it. But, it's far too early for us to say exactly who it would be, but I think at this point that Stevens is far and away out and ahead.
Libby, welcome to the program. You're on the News Sentinel Sports page, brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Channel. What's up, Libby?
Thank you. Just wanted to say that we do listen to your show diligently, and earlier my husband had called in, and you guys made fun of him, and I didn't appreciate it at all.
No, I did not.
About Coach Dooley.
I did not make fun of him.
You did. You said that guy must be drunk. He is not. He is very enthused, as I am, and I agree with my husband. Give us 2 years and see where we're at.
I apologize, Libby. But if somebody did want to celebrate on National Signing Day, I could understand that.
It's a holiday.
I'm telling you, you need to apologize to my husband, Dwayne. I'm going to have to come over there, guys.
Thank you, Libby. I appreciate it. I apologize to Dwayne if he wasn't drunk, which I think is questionable.
Now you have to apologize again.
Why? I'm just telling you what I think. Thank you, Libby. Thank you, Dwayne, for listening to the program each and every day. Now I feel bad.
Well,
actually, Libby, Dwayne, call back, and I'm going to hook you up with a prize pack brought to you by Shred It. And, yes, UTFCU has said they'll go ahead and finance your home loan for 0%.
What a deal.
I don't think
you can go ahead and keep making fun of me throughout the entire week.
No, I don't think that last part's going to happen. But I will hook you up with a Shred It t-shirt and a Shred It hat. I apologize. And a Shred It shot glass. Let's go to Ben. Welcome to the program. You're on the page. Hello, Ben.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Hey, Ben. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, it's okay to be drunk, especially if you're a Georgia fan today. You've got to be drunk today.
That's
if you're
right.
a Georgia fan.
You're either celebrating or drinking away the class.
Down there today. Number 2, were you talking about you asked a question a second ago about are they counting signees and commits? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
I think they're counting commits too because they haven't updated James Stone yet on Tennessee's.
Okay.
They're counting commits and signees, so I don't think Tennessee's going to drop too far.
No, I wouldn't. If that's the case, I wouldn't think so. I'm not familiar with how exactly those ratings work.
That's on Rivals too, and another reason I was calling is for the Wiz that called in from Ohio State a few minutes ago. The average stars for Ohio State is like 3.3, and they're ranked 26, and Tennessee is 8 with 3.42 star rating. So much for that sustenance on the star rating there. That's all I got, guys.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the call, Ben. 656-9900, star 990, a free cell phone call. Damian Robinson just texted me back, said he has indeed signed with Mississippi State. So even though we had that well over an hour ago, we appreciate Damian for participating.
At least he took the time. And does that surprise you? I know that it doesn't matter in the SEC, but that Ohio State is 26th in the recruiting rankings? What's happened with that?
That does surprise me a little bit. That could be a program that could be a year or two away from being on a Mark Richt-like slide. I wouldn't rule that out. I mean, he wants to go up there and have a great season, get to a national championship, and get your brains beat in by a faster, stronger team.
I guess you don't really have to be 8th in the country in recruiting to win the Big Ten. So,
no, you can actually be like 50th in the country in recruiting and still win the Big Ten easily. A lot of people don't know that.
They're going to finish behind like TCU and Utah.
Don't go to break yet. Trying to get there, Rick.
I want to remind you that Shred-It has over 150,000 reasons to say yes to them. Global, national, local businesses, over 150,000 have said yes, Shred-It, yes, including the world's top intelligence and security agencies, more than 500 police forces, 1,500 hospitals, 8,500 bank branches, and 1,200 universities and colleges. Nothing like Shred-It because they've got it all perfected. Security screen, uniform, personnel are absolutely the way to go. The cross-cut proprietary technology that they use on their shredders means that delicate, sensitive paperwork can't possibly be reconstructed. That's why we're talking about Shred-It. They do everything on site. You can watch them do it if you like. It's just that simple. So give Shred-It a call or check them out online at www.shredit.com. That's www.shredit.com. Shred-It, their business is making sure that no one knows yours. That is Shred-It. I'm told we could be very close to having Derrick Rogers on the program, so we're going to hang tight here at UT Federal Credit Union on White Avenue behind Mellow Mushroom just off the strip. We'll see.
Practice report.
We do have Derrick Rogers now?
We have a practice report.
Practice report. Okay, let's go to the practice report. It's brought to you by Chuck Ward Real Estate Investments.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
This UT Practice Report is brought to you by Chuck Ward Real Estate Investments. Facing foreclosure or just need to get rid of a second home? Call Chuck Ward at 865-924-9872.
What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Tennessee with basketball practice this afternoon, as they'll prepare for LSU tomorrow. But as we keep the theme going with National Signing Day, who are some of the prospects you're looking forward most to seeing practice this summer and fall at UT?
Oh, that's a great question. I think anybody who signed on the offensive and defensive line are going to be people that we're going to have to watch because they can contribute right away. But really, I saw a little bit of Tyler Bray before the Chick-fil-A Bowl. And I thought that there was some potential there in the way he delivers the ball. I didn't think that mechanically he looked like the greatest quarterback in the world, but the guy's got the build to put on some weight, which he obviously needs. I'd like to see him work a little bit more. Need to see Matt Sims, and it always you want to see the guys at the skill position. So I'm going to be really excited to watch Justin Hunter, Derrick Rogers, these guys at wide receiver, what they're working with, because there's going to be. That's another place that down the road, they're going to take over this program. Gerald Jones and Denarius Moore are in the fold, and they're your two leading receivers coming back. But there's going to be potential for these guys to play on day one, and they might have some kind of incredible 3-4 year run. So you want to see if that's possible as soon as we can.
I'm going to throw out three guys. I'm going to say the defensive ends, Corey Miller and Jacques Smith. I want to see them, especially if they flop Aaron Douglas over to left tackle, which I think is a natural move. I want to see those guys line up on him and see how they do a couple of times. Both highly touted, but I think Aaron Douglas is a future NFL player. The other guy I want to see is Matt Milton, because I was
we have Nash, Nance, and then Rick.
I was on the road for a good part of their practices when they were at UT, so it'll be interesting to see them. I heard they did a really good job from you. Matt Milton did.
Milton, that guy is incredible.
Nash Nance joins us now from Calhoun, Georgia. Nash, how excited are you to play with the receivers that Tennessee has signed?
Sir?
Nash, how excited are you to play with the receivers that Tennessee has signed?
Oh, man, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Just having that caliber of player, out there at wideout is amazing. So it's really exciting.
Now, we talked to you a little bit earlier about Derrick. Describe him as a player. What kind of player is Derrick?
He's a playmaker. He makes big plays. You just get the ball in his hands. I'll take him one-on-one any day with anybody. I can even take him two-on-one with anybody. But he's just a great playmaker, great friend. He's like a brother to me, and we'd do anything for each other.
How hard did you recruit that guy?
Honestly, I really didn't. I just told him, I'd love to have you at Tennessee, man, but, I want you to make your own decision for yourself. I want to do what's best for you, and, just you make your own decision, and, whatever decision you make, I'll support you and be behind you. So I'm glad he picked Tennessee, though.
Nash, is he there?
Yes, sir. He's here right now.
Can we visit with him for a second?
Yes, sir. Hold on.
Thank you. Nash Nance, quarterback at Calhoun, Georgia, handing it off to now Derrick Rogers. Derrick, are you there, sir?
Hello?
Derrick, you there?
I'm right here.
Hey, man, I appreciate the time. Congratulations. How excited are you?
Thank you. I'm extremely excited. I'm glad to be a bowl, baby.
Now things got a little crazy last night when news leaked that you were going to sign with Tennessee. I was following your Twitter account. People got a little excited.
Oh yeah, my Twitter went crazy. It blew up. I just got to Twitter Monday. It's Wednesday and it's outrageous right now. So I love it though.
What did you think of some of the negative fan reaction that was out there from Georgia fans?
I didn't really think much of it. Having press fly, you're gonna get negative people. You just gotta look past,
Derrick, when you look at not just you, the rest of the receivers coming in, you guys might make up the best receiving class in the entire country. You look at that and what you guys can do, maybe contribute right away. Is that another part of the package that really has you fired up?
It has me fired up, yeah. The chance to play with other great players. Hopefully we all can come in and impact day one because, I feel like we all just come in and work hard with the coaching staff and the facilities we got, we can do it all.
How much do you look when you go through a recruiting process? Are you weighing where other talented wide receivers are going, and how much does that maybe influence your decision, or do you guys all want to meet up, and how does that all work? What's the dynamic there?
Of course, talent always wants to play with talent, so that was always a big thing. I wouldn't go to a school that had nobody. The level of talent also was a big thing for me.
Derrick, what can you tell us about some of the reasons you picked Tennessee, whether it's the coaching staff or the visit? What were some of the things that stood out to you?
The way Coach Dooley and all the coaches always talked about a brand. It was real professional. I love that. And also I love the fans. The fans were amazing.
Good stuff. Derrick, we'll talk to you soon. Congratulations, man.
All right, see you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Stay tuned. We broadcast live from UT Federal Credit Union, the News Sentinel Sports page, brought to you by Image Matters on the Sports Animal.
The News Sentinel Sports page.
You doing it live?
No, I just did it. Good job. Hey, any chance we get stoned?
I'm trying, but nobody's...
Hey, this is Oliver Wright with SportsGate. You can catch SportsGate every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com. We'll have in-studio guests, post-game interviews, and all the sports coverage you can handle. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Knoxivi.com.
Nothing goes better with great friends, great times, and special occasions like a great cigar. Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the owner of Leaf & Ale, Knoxville's traditional tobacconist, featuring cigars, microbrewed and import beers, pipes, and pipe tobaccos too. If you love a great cigar, you'll love Leaf & Ale. On the corner of Kingston Pike and Cedar Bluff, and online at leafandale.com.
You deserve the best. Leaf and Ale.
At Luttrell's Eyewear, we want you to feel and look great in your eyeglasses. With 2 locations in Bearden and Farragut, Luttrell's Eyewear offers frames that will complement your best features. Open Monday through Saturday with late evening hours, we specialize in prescription eyeglasses and provide eye exams by an optometrist or ophthalmologist by appointment. And check out our website at luttrellseyewear.com. Luttrell's Eyewear, where service meets fashion.
My big brother was trying to impress the cheerleaders. He was in the gym, pumping iron, showing off his muscles. And the weights fell and broke his foot. Now he's only allowed to pump gas.
So how do you get people through your front door? Newspaper? Radio? TV? Name recognition for a small business usually comes at a pretty high price. Without a limitless advertising budget, it's difficult, if not impossible, for a small business to brand itself in the local market.
Never mind a global one, but there is an answer. Advertising with Knoxivi makes global branding power affordable for you, the small business owner.
And every time a
page brought to you by Image Matters on The Sports Animal. Let's just give a rundown again of where Tennessee is in this signing class. We're still waiting to hear on John Brown. I haven't heard anything on him yet. I mean, they need John Brown, no question about it. Northeast Mississippi Community College out of Lakeland, Florida. But even if they weren't able to land John Brown, you'd have to look at this class and say, fantastic job, considering all that happened, including a coaching change and some absolutely incredibly bad weather over the weekend that really hurt their final official visit weekend. One thing that we do need to be sure and mention is you have to give credit to Lane Kiffin's former staff, because bringing in 8 mostly highly rated prospects gave you a strong foundation to build upon.
Yeah, and those guys that's part of the ranking. It's not like they don't count. You know, Tyler Bray, as we talked about, Matt Milton, those guys, Matt Sims. It's not like they did nothing. And certainly they didn't do as much here as everybody expected them to do. They didn't stay as long, but they did lay some sort of groundwork. That shouldn't be overlooked.
It is time now to go to the 2-minute drill, and it's brought to you by Shred It.
The 2-minute drill, brought to you by Shred It. Their business is making sure no one knows yours. Exclusively on The Sports Animal.
John Brown. Take it or shred it. Is he going to be a Tennessee signee? I mean, used to be this stuff would drag till 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Now it tends to be done by 11 or 12. So it is getting a bit disheartening that Tennessee hasn't heard from him yet.
I'll take it. I still think he's going to show up.
Yeah, I'll take it too. There's just too much of an opportunity to play. Lane Kiffin's class, had he stayed at Tennessee, would be better than what Derek Dooley landed. Take it or shred it.
I'm going to shred that. I don't believe that he would have been able to pull off this kind of class. I mean, he got some great guys early, the midterm guys. But they even lost one of those, and it still looks pretty good. Stone in particular, Justin Hunter, those guys, Rogers, those 3 I don't think would have been part of Lane Kiffin's recruiting class. And they're the difference. They are the difference.
I agree with you on the guys they wouldn't have gotten, but they would have gotten Ambles. They would have gotten Brandon Willis. Those are 2 highly touted guys. I think they would have gotten Chaz Green. I don't mean this as a knock on Derek Dooley, because I think he did a fantastic job. But I think it would have been better had Lane Kiffin still been the head coach of the Vols.
If it's 3-3 with those guys at the top, that's a trade, I guess we'd have to call it a wash and say we'd probably finish about 8. Tennessee would finish about 8.
Now, again, we'll look at it in 4 years and see what happens. But in terms of Tennessee's basketball team versus LSU, you're taking them or shredding them?
I'll take them. I'll take them in a close game, which is disappointing as it is. It should be for the Vols.
I'll take them too. Some people in UT's basketball department are calling me Triple H, stealing a nickname from Haller and Hilton Hill. But for me, it's Hoops Hating Hooker. Do you think I hate basketball? Take it or shred it?
I'll shred that. I don't think that you hate basketball.
What's the deal with that? I give those guys all kinds of support. That hurts my feelings.
I don't know. I wonder what that means that they're calling some other people around town.
I want to thank our friends at UT Federal Credit Union for having us down. Again, UT Federal Credit Union has locations in Knoxville, Martin, Memphis, Gainesville, Tuscaloosa, Oxford, Nashville, Columbia, Lexington. They can absolutely save you money. One way is to make your new car dreams a reality with fixed rates as low as 4.24%, plus a bonus for a limited time. Choose from either a free GAP plan or up to $200 cash back from UT Federal Credit Union. How much interest does your checking account earn? Well, with the new U Rewards checking account at UT Federal Credit Union, your balance could earn up to 3.33%. All you have to do is meet monthly requirements of direct deposit, use your debit card, online banking, and e-statements. UT Federal Credit Union tied in 4,000 branches, 25,000 ATMs. You'll find it on the web at utfcu.org, and they're the only bank with a location on campus. Check them out at onlybankoncampus.com. I also want to thank Knoxivi. Fantastic job, guys. Round of applause for getting us on TV, and that was fantastic to stream us there. And it was a neat signing day special. We had highlights the whole 9 yards, and you'll be able to see a replay of those 2 hours on GoVolsExtra.com and KnoxIV.com later this afternoon. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Josh Ward and Will West up next. A little Sports 180 on the Sports Animal.
When you need to.
Thanks, Dave. I'll email you all that stuff.
Thank you, man.
Shredded on-site proprietary high-security document control.
Nothing goes better with great friends, great times, and special occasions like a great cigar. Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the owner of Leaf & Ale, Knoxville's traditional tobacconist, featuring cigars, microbrewed and import beers, pipes, and pipe tobaccos too. If you love a great cigar, you'll love Leaf & Ale. On the corner of Kingston Pike and Cedar Bluff, and online at leafandale.com.
You deserve the best. Leaf and Ale.